Video games has always been amazing, and over the years they've just gotten better textures, lighting, design, interface. I could basically go on forever. But what makes them unique? See, video game uses a technique called real-time rendering, and today I want to take you along for a ride where we dive into what real-time rendering is, how it's different from ray tracing, what the future might be for game design, and how you can implement these elements in Blender. So let's get into it. The concept of real-time rendering is frames that are rendered in the same time as they are played back in. For most games, that is 60 to 120 frames. Now, if we take a look at one of the big dogs in the gaming industry, Unreal Engine, the software actually has two kinds of render options, rasterization and ray tracing. Rasterization is used for real-time rendering. It's faster than ray tracing, but it comes at the cost of limiting or faking lights, shadows and reflections. Rasterization is not able to render bounced light, and that's something we will notice because our human eyes are able to. On the other hand, we have ray tracing that simulates real lighting, shadows and bounce light. Ray tracing takes longer than rasterization and doesn't render in real time, but ray tracing is the best option for a more photorealistic result. So how are they different from each other? Well, both engines are actually used in video games, but under specific settings. Most AAA games like Dark Souls 3 uses rasterization for gameplay and most cutscenes. That's why Dark Souls have a lot of these transitions from gameplay to cutscenes, and why you are able to see your custom character in the cutscenes. Ray tracing is used more for cinematics in games. An example is this opening cinematic in Demon's Souls remake. You can see the focus is more on photorealism, and since you actually haven't started playing yet, there is no custom transition. Another example is this cutscene from Final Fantasy VII Remake. It transitions from gameplay to a pre-rendered cinematic. You can even pause it. So, rasterization was the king of games and ray tracing of cutscenes. Both lived in their own palace in the video game world and had accepted each other. Everything was fine. But in 2018, everything changed, and this was released.
What? What?
This is the first example of a real-time ray tracing. It was made by Epic Games, Nvidia and ILMX Labs on Unreal Engine 4 and kicked the door down for more photorealistic cutscenes. Now this was expensive back then, but it's now more achievable with Nvidia's RTX graphic cards like the RTX 2080 Ti GPU. I know games like Cyberpunk and Skull and Bones took a long time to develop and was a huge letdown. But I think with this technology, you only need a good story, good gameplay, good game mechanics, and a decent budget to make better games for years to come. So how can this be understood in Blender? Well, Blender do also have two render options, Eevee and Cycles. Eevee is Blender's real-time engine, where Cycles is Blender's version of ray tracing. But in update 4.2, Blender added ray tracing to Eevee. And even though Blender isn't a game engine, Eevee is still very good for people who doesn't have a good enough GPU to run Cycles. Here I made two renders of the same product. One is rendered in Cycles and the other in Eevee with ray tracing turned on. So, which one do you like the most, and what do you think the future will be?